Hello, everyone. If you are tuning in this evening, this is the December edition of the Vernon Salon series here in the Bay Area, California. My name is Anne Rainwater. I founded the Vernon Salon series almost 5 years ago. Actually, next month, January 2021, is our 5-year anniversary. And I'm very pleased tonight to present one of my very good friends, Jude Traxler, out in New York. He's coming to you live this evening. And Jude and I know each other from before graduate school. We met before graduate school at Bang on a Can, and then went to graduate school together, and we've been friends and collaborators ever since. And so tonight's show is hopefully going to be like a little bit like a conversation back and forth. We will have our traditional Q&A at the end. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, you can ask some questions in the chat, and I will pass those along to Jude at the end. Just a little bit more about the Vernon Salon. It is a monthly concert series that I believe until February of this year was live in person, and then we took a few months off and went to streaming starting in May. So during this time, I'm still able to bring you concerts live once a month streaming, and that will continue into the new year until we can go back to in person at some point. A little bit more now about Jude Traxler. Jude is a musician, composer, percussionist, singer, guitar player, just all around musician extraordinaire, living in New York, in Harlem. And he is bringing you a set tonight, the first half of his set from CPU, which is a one-act opera that he wrote. He will bring you the second half of the set actually next month in January. So his second concert with us will be celebrating the 5 years of the Vernon Salon series. Another friendly reminder to donate this evening if you are able, and you can do that via PayPal or Venmo. There should be a link on your computer screen right here in the video. And please feel free to message me during this if you have any questions about that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the spotlight over to Jude. Give me 1 second. Replace spotlight, and I will mute myself.
What's up, people? This is New York. It's Friday, live from New York. It's December 4th. Sorry, that's terrible. Anne and I have been friends a long time, and Anne is still very much in my life, but was in my life when I wrote this opera. It's a little bit about turning 30. It's a little bit about the end of the world. And I just want to start it off for you. There's a website of mine, judetraxler.com, and at said website, you can find the lyrics for this. It's under judetraxler.com/CPU_opera. I won't talk a bunch, but I will say that this is an opera written in 14 songs, in very much the pop idiom, but it is an original story about a guy and a girl and the end of the world. So yeah, I hope you dig it. I'll start a little for you. As I lie and wait the scream alone, why try perpetuate the episode? And I know just how far this will go. Watch me chase her down a rabbit hole. She stays folding constant memory, like tape, all that's left is shimmering, losing and overclocking all that we won't leave now, witnessing through history. Just numbers in the cloud, no signal fell to the ground. And I awake calculating entropy. She slips into something misery. We are so far along the plotty roads. Witness all that once he overlooked. Just numbers in the cloud. No reason to be found. 6 chambers in the round. Let's find our way down as she tries to stop the sound. Partial memory. Someday duplicate my apathy. She states you only want what you can see, and I'll create a better virus to release. Stage 1, dissolve the casing carefully. Stage 2, deploy the virus properly. Stage 3, this strain of poison digital. Now breathe the devastation critical. And it shakes, pixelating visually. We break, electronic shattering. Retake the virus out of misery. She will reboot a better part of me. Just numbers in the cloud. No reason to be found. 6 chambers in the round. Let's find our way down. Like children in the crowd, left screaming this aloud. 6 chambers in the round. We found our way. She stays, replicating part of me. Retake, deploy the virus constantly. We make a first world catastrophe. Create self-revolving memory. She breaks self-importing gravity. We are all that's left in front of me. We drown. We drown. We drown. Celebrating gravity. So it is 10:12 p.m. in New York, and I'm excited to play here for you guys. Guys and gals, humans, people, music, folks. So that first tune is called CPU, the Overture. It basically breaks down the synopsis of the opera. Guy falls for girl, girl falls for guy. They bring each other into their own fold, and the guy is part of a like cyber eco-terrorist organization. I love how quickly this gets dark. And guy brings girl on to the fold, but girl is the one who designs and creates a virus that depletes all organic and digital life on Earth. Come to find out that girl is infected with said virus, is in a coma, and right at the end there, at the big sort of loud to quiet climax, the power grid fails. They are both trapped in the only living bunker. Everything else is dead and gone. There is no rescue mission. And as they're trapped in the bunker and the power grid fails, he has to then manually fire her synapse function to keep her brain function alive. And the opera is laid out. There's an iPad app or a tablet app that I wrote that each time you touch it, it's called snooze. It's like an alarm clock. And each time you touch it, it has a snooze timer. And there are 25 iPads and 25 independent timers that make it really difficult for the main character to continue without making a mistake. And if a timer is not triggered on time to reset, it overexposes and emits a loud kind of sine wave pitch, signaling that it's no longer working. So the main character is taxed with firing these functions to keep his significant other alive. And the next, I guess the first half of the opera, what we'll call the first act, an act of an act, is him dealing with, do you know I love you? Do you know I care about you? Do you know that I'm trying? Do you know that I'm trying to keep you alive? And fighting the urge to quit, and she dies, and he lives, and eventually starves to death. Or he goes on until he's exhausted, and he can't go on, and he dies, and then she dies. Or maybe even worse, she wakes up and comes back to life, and then they're trapped in this bunker with no food or any kind of hope for safety. Anyway, real dark Friday night. I'm really, really glad to be here. Let me play this next song that is entitled Do You Love Me? And it's really about, before we get started, you and me are good, right? Like we're cool? We're cool? There's just one thing in my mind. Do you love me all the time? And I'm not sure why I need to know, but I do. Do you love me, girl? I think you do. And as do all things, heal in time. Do you trust me? Will we survive? And I'm not sure, but I can stand to know when we're through. Do you love me, girl? I think you do. As I told you outside, would you love me through this demise? And I'm not sure that I'll always know that I love you. Do you love me, girl? Do you love me, girl? Do you love me, girl? I think you do. Cool. Thank you for the thunderous applause. That's happening, right? Cool. So as nice as that song is, there is always a follow-up. Something a little darker always lurks. So this tune is called This Is Love. And this is a tune that is a bit about the opposite of Do You Love Me? It's love is hard. And you know, we're all a big fan of Corinthians at a wedding. Actually, now's a great time. Ann and Clem just got married. Can I say that out loud? Can I put it on the spot? Can I put them both on the spot? Because Clem is running production and Ann is running the salon. And I've known Ann a long time, and she's really my sister and my first work wife, and I'm so excited about her and Clem. Can we bring the house lights up? Does that happen? That doesn't happen. That's not a thing. Yeah, bring the house lights up. Can you guys see Ann? Can we spotlight Ann for a second? Ann, can you spotlight yourself? Because that's a thing. Come on, look at her. Anyway, I had to put Ann on the spot at least once tonight. I mean, come on. How long have we known each other? 12 years? God, we should both be dead by now. Here we go. This song is called This Is Love. I bring up Corinthians because this is sort of my response to like love is patient, love is kind. Love is dirty and sticky and mean. And you know, I've got a great wife and a great kid and a great small set of friends. But love is work, and love sucks most of the time. So this is a song about what if your significant other was dying in a coma and it was your job to keep them alive. Taking the trash out is hard enough, people. Here we go. This is love. Love, tried and true, black and blue. This is us. It's what he'll come home to. Our armor see through. This is love. Love. Oh, this is love. This is love. This is not secret drug she's dreaming of, broken wings from above. This is not biting and screaming for the sun with our severed tongues. Ooh, this is love. This is love. Ooh, this is love. Oh, this is love. That sure thing will not find. Save the replay in your mind, as the hardware won't rewind. Break into one. Let's go back to the start. 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 Let's go back Love is patient, love is kind, love yells a lot. All right. Anne, how are you?
I'm good.
You are good. All right. So at this point, we start to talk about if you were manually firing snooze buttons perpetually for the rest of your physical existence. At some point, you would question, should I just quit because it doesn't matter? Or should I continue on because I know it's the right thing to do? Also, who cares? And so I sort of juggle these three questions here in this next piece. It's called Out of My Mind, and it is about being out of one's mind with the number of responsibilities and weights in life, but specifically about keeping, one's only other love alive. Heavy Friday night, people. Heavy Friday night. Glad you're here. Happy December 4th. The weather outside is frightful. I'm kidding. I'm not going to sing that. Here we go. I see your name written down in a word alone. I see no need to be found in this world alone, and I won't find myself in time. Tell me something I don't already know. Our last story will be surrender, deny everything and leave her out of my mind. Nothing out of my mind. Out of my mind. I, with this clock ticking down, create a world of tones out in this automated sound, and we'll wash ashore and we won't mind this gap in time. Watch me disappear, it's already done. This task, the only space between us defines now our only weakness. I am alive. Nothing changes me. I found you where I found myself. Found you where I found myself. Out of my mind. I'll bring this game crashing down to a pile of stones, raining destruction abound. Only skin and bones, and if we find ourselves in time, we'll abandon hope, 'cause we're never getting home. Yeah, sound warnings defeat her. It notes everything and remembers. I found you where I found myself. I found you where we last exhaled. I found you where I'm dying. At least you'll know I died trying. I found you where I found you where I found myself. Nothing changes me, and I found you where we last exhaled. Out of my mind, and I found you where we're drowning. At least you'll know I died trying. Awesome. We're 4 songs in. Thank you for tuning in. There are 2 songs left in I mean, it's a 1-act opera, but there are 2 songs left in this first half in this set that I'll do tonight. Annie Rainwater, how are we on time? It is 10:29 in New York.
Good.
Cool. 2 more?
2 more, and maybe just a reminder to folks listening, if they would care to donate this evening, there is a donation link to either PayPal or Venmo on your video screen.
And your donations go to new guitar strings and probably some soundproofing so my wife doesn't have to hear me yelling in the room next door. Oh, there's cars too. It's Harlem. I'm kidding. I think Anne's going to keep all these donations because I think she's awesome, and I'm excited about being on the salon. Anne and I have known each other a long time, and I was excited when she started the salon. You said 5 years ago now? It's a long time. I have a kid. She's only 4. Okay? Your baby is older than my baby. All right? Anyway, enough about babies. Let me check my tuning here. Good enough, people. Good enough. All right. So this next song is a little bit lighter. I actually took this quote. The song's called Better Off. And I took this quote from a Parks and Rec episode, a show by Michael Schur, a show that features Leslie Knope. What's her real name? I'm embarrassed. Amy Poehler. And there was a moment when they're asking about the election. Are you better off than you were a year ago? And the episode goes horribly wrong, as sitcoms do, but it made me question, like, what if this main character could talk to his significant other and ask her, like, are you really better off that you're still alive? At the end of the last song, at the end of Out of My Mind, he says, at least you'll know that I died trying. And I think he comes to the conclusion of it's better to die trying to keep your love alive than it is to quit and wonder. And so this is a slightly lighter tune about, like, are you really better off sitting here in a coma, wasting away, with a little bit of like a oompa, oompa, oompa. I mean, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's bound to be one of these in there, right? Ann and I did a version of this with pencils. Is that where you show me with a pencil? Ann and I, in an early version of this, we took this 6-string ukulele called a guitar-lele, and we taped up some of the strings so that we could play it back and forth with pencils. I had forgotten about that. That's a wonderful thing. Ann and I had good music, and then we just buried it in the backyard, as I like to say. More to come. Are you better off than when we found you? Are you better off indeed? Are you better off than when we found you? Are you better off with me? We'll see. Are you conscious of the world we've traveled? Are you conscious of our greed? Are you with me as our time unravels? Or are you lost in the disease with me? Are you better off than when we found you? Are you better off indeed? Are you better off than when we found you? Are you better off with me? We'll see. As we conjugate the restless babble, as we lie awake asleep, the virus of your cause will let the world around you crashing down upon its knees. Just breathe, please. So this last tune is at a point where he is convinced he's going to continue his plight. But he's now realizing it's a little more than I think that he could handle, not so much mentally, but physically. And there's a little bit of frustration in terms of, I know I'm going to do this, but physically, can I handle this? And relay refers to, messages running down a relay that you can't quite keep up with. To compound this concept, I wrote a lot of words. So it felt it feels very difficult to juggle all of these words and all of these quick concepts in great succession. So even as I'm playing this, I feel like I am overwhelmed with things.
Can I just add that I think it was in a funny time signature too?
Oh, relay, yeah. So for the music nerds out there, which I hope there are some, the beginning is in like 15/4, which means there are 15 beats in one phrase, and the chorus is in, the bridge is in 15/8, which means there are also 15 beats, but they are half as long. So you can overlay them to be, they connect, because 15 goes into 15 of multiples of 15, but it does so in a way that is very kind of trippy and elaborate. And it's one of those things that when you hear the full band version, which is on my website, judetraxler.com, as well as on my rock band's website, we have some versions of these that we play live. My band is called Echo Artifact, ECHOARTIFACT.com. Everything connects. I'm running all of the websites, so it's just the same thing over different monikers, but check them out. Basically, in the bridge of this song, at the end of this song, I start to layer in the chorus, which layers in the bridge, which layers in this last part. And it is overwhelming in material, but it also creates a nice synchronicity of everything is overwhelming, but when you lay it on top of each other, it actually aligns and makes a really nice composite. Anyway, I'm talking a bunch about words. Y'all check this last tune out. This is Relay, and I would love any questions or thoughts or criticisms too. I went to music school. I paid a lot of people a lot of money to tell me I suck. So, let's hang out. Big thanks to Anne, big thanks to Clem, big thanks to Vernon Salon. I don't know. I'm really grateful to have a place to play in front of humans. That's a weird thing for us musicians. We're really desperate for attention, not as much as actors, but pretty much the same. Anyway, donate. I'm a big fan of Anne Salon. Thanks for having me out. Annie Rainwater. First, you know what? Let me jump in. Let me interrupt myself. There's a song that I still leave on Anne's voicemail. I go, Annie Rainwater, Annie Rainwater, Annie Rainwater. Something like that. I don't know. It doesn't have chords. It's fine. I digress. This is Relay, and thanks for having me. I hope you don't yet regret having me, even though I also don't care. Here we go. Further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved with. Further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved with. Cancel these words and slow my tongue. There won't be much left when I'm done. I never ever rather come running back from this. Undefined intentions make me want to mention all I've ever thought of you. I'm just not into saying goodbye to this time. Further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved. Further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved with. Fortify these walls and break my limbs. All these final moments depend on you ever waking up from this. I can't continue, friend. Break down these walls just one by one. All that we have left is undone. I never ever ever run back from this. I can't shake this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and I can't shake this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and we're further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved with. Further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. A message I won't be involved with. Codify these words and sheath my gun. Nothing will be left when we're done. No, no, our time expires just after these run. Can't stop the action, only time can give us traction. All I've ever thought of you, I'm just not into. I won't go on without you. I can't shake this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and I can't shake this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and we're further down the relay is a step I'm going to miss. All this, I don't know what you think you might see. We're inside this. I can't fight this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and I can't shake this feeling in my bones, like we're in my hands and how much do you think we can't see before we realize that we're gone? How much do you think we can't see before we realize that we're gone? That's it, guys and gals. Thanks for hanging out. I have nowhere to go. It's 10:42 in New York. I'm around for questions and whatever.
Hello, Jude. Can you see me?
Hi, Ann Rainwater. I can see you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
I think it was great. It brought me back to all the times we performed these together.
So let me jump in there, right?
Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I wrote this. I'm 35 now. I think I was 28 or 29, and I was dealing with having been in music school for 7 years. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did my undergraduate. I did 2 undergraduate degrees, one in composition and one in percussion performance. and then I came to Manhattan School of Music and did my master's at the same time as Anne Rainwater. We started a group called Future Cities. But all of that was something that came to pass. When I was 12, I really fell in love with rock music and drum set. And when I was 15, I got into a metal band and was really into just like original music with odd time signatures and a lot of like really intricate and interesting things that as I was learning music in music school, and I was learning music from this rock band of a bunch of musicians who knew almost nothing about the theory of music, but are some of the best musicians I've ever played with, even to this day. And my point to all this is I started to get to that point where you start to have what I guess people call a quarter life crisis. I would be lucky that 30 is a quarter of my life, let's be honest. First of all, I'm not making it to $120. I'm definitely not making it to 90. So let's call it a third life crisis. Anyway, I kind of felt like I wanted to write something. I wanted to do something that went back to me as a 12-year-old. Why did you get into music school? Why did you get into music? Why are you on this path? I guess it was kind of aimless. So I wrote this opera. These are the first songs that I've written, especially those that are to be performed publicly. So they're really important to me, and Anne is someone I trust musically, and so we did a summer project where Anne came up to New York for a few days. It was Anne, it was my brother Jude Traxler, who's also a great musician and a composer, and it was our good friend Mike Perdue, who I think is an amazing musician. Mike and I work together here in New York still, but we got together for, I don't know, Anne, like 4 or 5 days?
Maybe if that.
Maybe 4 days at best. My brother flew up from Baton Rouge. Mike was here in town. Anne flew over from Oakland at the time. But we did a version of this. We did I think at the time it was maybe 10 tunes. The final version is 14 songs. But we did a version of this live where, it's guitar and it's bass and it's drum set and it's piano, and we did a lot of looping and a lot of live manipulation of stuff. So it was 4 of us, but it sounded like there were 6 or 7 or 8 of us on stage because we would loop certain passages. For classical musicians, playing the same 2 chords over and over again is torture. And so, we basically find ways to make ourselves busy and make things difficult on ourselves. But Anne was part of one of the very original, conceptions of this project. The first 2 iterations of this project, Anne was, we did a house show and a video project in Baton Rouge. I think that same summer, a few months later. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, and this is meant to be, I'm a classical composer, for lack of a better way to put it. So this is meant to be like a bit of an opera, in the sense that it's a staged, through composed piece of original storyline, and also it's meant to be just songs that you enjoy listening to. I mean, you could really know nothing about the details of the big picture opera, and they still have this weird, I like the idea of puns, and I like the use of clever language. For instance, this whole thing came from the song CPU has at least 2 computer puns in every stanza. So if you have access to my website link, judetraxler.com/CPU_opera, every line has a pun about a computer code, whether the screen is loading, whether it's about partitioning memory, or it's about, anyway. I'm rambling at this point, but I'm excited to play. I'm excited to be here. And yes, Anne has been part of every iteration of this project. We wrote the tune Out of My Mind together in a studio. Where is that studio, Anne? Somewhere in Marin, I think, right?
Somewhere in Marin. Yeah, we used to do retreats probably about once a year together, I think, after I moved back to California. And we still have, actually, I should add, we don't just collaborate on song tunes that you've written. We've collaborated on albums and other musical events as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now's a great time to pitch. Anne has an album we put out. When did we put that out? May? July.
This past July.
Anne has an album of all of my keyboard related original works. So piano solos. I think there's a celeste and vocal song she does. It's really incredible. I think so. I say this a lot. Anne is my first work wife. Anne is I have work wives, I have work husbands. Anne is the first person that I connected with creatively, and we just kind of stuck, which I love. As I mentioned, Mike Perdue is my recent work husband here in New York. We teach the Manhattan School of Music Percussion Ensemble together. But I think it's important to keep people near you that you trust creatively. I mean, the music industry is not known for its honor and its integrity. And so I think it's important to find people you trust. I mean, John Cage didn't write this. This was a sister, I forget her name, but find a place you trust and stay there for a while. And I think that's such an important thing, to find people that you trust, especially now we're all locked inside. I don't know. I'm talking a bunch. I should probably not do that, Anne. How are you? Tell me a story. Does anybody have any questions about stories? What are we doing on a Friday? Somebody tell me a story.
I don't see any questions from anybody, which is why I was just asking the questions myself.
It's all good. Everybody hated it. Thank you for tuning in.
I guess, one of the questions I've been asking people this fall series as they've been tuning in is during this time, obviously things have changed quite a bit, but with regards to creativity and output for you, what's been your story on that? I know, I should say that I know some people who have been more creative during this time. Oh, I'm at home, I can write every day. Or other people, I would put myself more in this camp. I'm feeling not as motivated during this time. Things are just, there's other work to be done, or creatively I don't feel inspired necessarily right now. But what has it been like for you?
I keep talking to this mic like it matters. I can just
No, I can hear you much better in your mic.
Oh, cool. Hi. So the first thing I'd like to talk about. It's funny when it first started. If you never told me I couldn't leave, I would never leave my apartment. If you told me don't leave, it's all I want to do is leave. But for the first few months, I got a lot done because I'm a notoriously poor sleeper. Anyone who has ever met me knows that. That's just kind of like one of my characters. I'm an ADD insomniac. But I found myself waking up at 4 a.m. and just mastering audio work, things that have sat on the table, things like Anne's piano album of my work, things like Echo Artifact. I mean, my rock band that does a lot of these tunes, including the ones I play tonight. I just found myself wrapping up work a lot faster because I had nothing else to do. That said, I find I wear a lot of different hats. I wear a hat as producer, I wear a hat as composer, I wear a hat as gun for hire in terms of recording music that is somebody else's composition. I found that I don't know, I got a lot of work done in one facet and I got none in the other. I haven't played vibraphone in months. I mean, let me just turn the camera here. I've got a vibraphone here. It was a gift to me. It's a piece of history. This old vibraphone from Stuart Saunders Smith. But I love playing the vibraphone. I love playing snare drum. I love playing drum set. I haven't played in months. I mean, other than playing tonight, which I am truly honored to do. I've done nothing. And to be honest with you, to cut to the chase, I don't feel like I have my identity anymore. I feel like I'm not the same musician that I was. I feel like I don't have the opportunity to go out and perform. I used to play at least a show a month in one of 7 different bands that I'm in, but I haven't played a show in quarters. I mean, we're talking about months at a time. I haven't touched the vibraphone in 6 months. I mean, that feels bad for me. I spent 7 years and 80 grand, which by the way is not a lot of money compared to most musicians. Okay. I mean, I spent all this money and time investing in being a performing artist, and to not do it is weird and gross. I mean, I don't know the right word for it. It feels like I'm losing my identity.
I you just reminded me of something that for those of you who may not be familiar with this band, they're based in San Francisco, the Living Earth Show.
Oh my
Um,
God, I love the Living Earth
Travis
show.
Andrews and Andy Meyerson, and
Oh my God.
I had a
Can we
conversation.
just pause? Can we say that name again? Can you say their website? The Living
So
Earth Show
so
is like
the
T
band
T
is
L
called
E S.
TLES, the Living Earth Show. Travis Andrews and Andy Meyerson,
Yeah,
guitar and percussion.
those dudes are
They,
incredible.
they're
Like
wonderful.
like like everybody, shut up. Those dudes are incredible. I love those guys. Can I just say that 10 more times?
Well, we can send
Can
them
you replace my YouTube video of this with the
there.
recording of just them?
Um, but I had a conversation with Travis years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago at this point, and we were talking about performing and identity, and he said something to me like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm a bad person when I don't perform, or I feel like I'm not myself, or I feel like I'm not as good of a person when I'm not
Mm.
performing." And at first I thought that was a little odd. And then I thought about it more and I went, oh, yeah, I actually, when I'm performing, when I'm playing more, I'm more in touch with who I am and how I express and how I create. And that's been hard during this time, uh, not because anybody externally has been saying don't perform, right? But because of external conditions in the world right now, being home a lot more, having different responsibilities, and it's felt like a real time of, yeah, I guess questioning your identity as
Well,
an artist.
we've been fighting for so long to just book gigs, book gigs, book gigs, and I mean, like Ann, you and I know each other more than anybody. I mean, not Clem, but like, we've been friends for 12 years. Like I feel like we know each other not in a way that is like, it's not even personal. It's just the art.
Mm.
I mean, you and I used to talk all the time about the Catholic guilt of practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive me if I'm outing you right here, Ann, but like Ann and I are both like grown up Catholic. We're both very much atheist. Sorry, Nancy, if you're tuning in and you have no
She is
idea.
listening. Fine,
Listen, I love me some Nancy. Can we shout out Nancy Galena real quick? Can we just shout out? But like for real, like we talked a long time about like the Catholic guilt of practicing, where if you don't practice enough in the day, you feel guilty. If you practice too much, there's no time for anything else. And there's no such thing as enough practicing. It's like saying like how much chocolate should you eat? All the chocolate. What a stupid question. All the chocolate is the answer. Should you eat it? No. But like should you be able to eat it? Yeah, you should. We should be free to eat the chocolate we want. Like I feel like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we compare ourselves to other industries, but what other business? Like if you're a salesman and you feel like I haven't sold something in a while, like it's about money for them, it's about product for them, but for us it's about the work ethic. We become addicted to the work ethic of getting better. If we had too many shows, we would say I wish I had a break.
Mm-hmm.
But also like I don't know.
But the
I
world
don't
is
know any.
talking
I don't
for
know
you
anything else about my identity. I don't have any. And this. I'm a depressed individual, but like I don't have an identity besides performing. I really don't. I feel like I don't. Like I'm a funny dude. I'm a loud dude, but
You're
otherwise,
talkative.
like, say again.
You're talkative.
I am quite talkative, but like I don't feel I have an identity. I don't feel like I have a worth on this earth better than someone else unless you involve music and instruments and
Mm.
composing and collecting sounds and words in a way that means something better than what somebody else could do.
Yeah.
And it's not about better and worse, but it's about like I have a value in my tiny little bubble here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not allowed, I either not allowed to do that, or I don't know how to do that, or to be honest, I think this is cool where we can connect over Zoom or whatever platform
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Like what are we, like 3,000 miles away?
Right.
What's
And three
right?
hours apart. And when is the last time we've actually seen each other in person? It's been probably a year.
It's been a minute, dude.
Yeah.
Can I just pause and say I miss you? I don't care about nobody else on this call. I miss you. We should hang out. You should bring your husband. He's your husband now. Or do you say partner? You're in California. I'm in New York.
Oh,
We say
no.
partner.
Anyway.
That dude. I'm excited, y'all. Anne Rainwater is married, y'all. Come on, pay attention. Come on, can we give a little reverb?
Well, anyway, seeing that I don't have any questions coming in from the dedicated audience members, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, really thank you. I don't have any friends or any followers or anything. This is great. I really appreciate the attention. Nobody loves me. Everybody pay attention, please.
Well, for all you out there, Jude will be performing the second half of his set in January next month, January 15th, I think. I need to look at my calendar. The updated calendar link will be up on my website soon, which is in the video information link below. So is Jude's website, and thumbs up all around. We are very happy you all tuned in. Jude muted himself. And I think we're going to sign off for this evening. So Jude, you stay, but we're going to end this stream. And thank you, everyone, for tuning into the last Vernon Salon series of 2020. See you in 2021. Hopefully it will be better than 2020.
It can only be better than 2020.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and good night.